Good morning, Tina Mitchell here with Coffee with a Superstar, and I want to thank you for joining us, for everybody that's on live this morning. And I created this space because I'm in the mortgage industry and I have the pleasure to work with a lot of real estate professionals, and I work with some high producing agents. I also work with agents that are wanting to take their business to the next level, and some agents I work with are starting in their career. And I know even from the mortgage industry, everybody wants to know what the best of the best are doing. And so that's why I've created this space, so that you can learn every Monday here live from 11 to 11:30, my Coffee with a Superstar, where I bring in the best of the best in the industry. So this week for our Coffee with a Superstar is Keoki and Stephanie McCarthy. They're owners of Real Living, Northwest Realtors, right here in Bothell area. And as I've shared before, we're going to the location of the Superstar just to see where they're at and a little bit behind the scenes. And not every week do I have the privilege to talk with agents that I've known for so many years. Some agents I don't know, they're just doing a lot of volume in the business. But I have an honor to work with Stephanie and Keoki for many years. And the reason I wanted to bring them in is not only because they are high producing real estate agents, but also they're broker and owner of Real Living. And they've built such an amazing tribe of agents that are doing amazing things in the market, especially local right here in Bothell. Also, their parents, and their oldest daughter is a young teen now, but I've known Stephanie and Keoki as well. But as a mother, there's a lot of real estate agents out there, female agents, that want to know, how do you do it? How do you be successful in business, successful wife and spouse, raise young kids? And you know, Keoki, now that they're getting into their teenage, all that you do in the sports with them. So little backing behind Keoki and Stephanie, and why this week they're our superstar, Coffee with a Superstar. So I would just like to first start out and ask you, what do the two of you contribute your success to in running such a successful company, great book of business, and just a great life all around?
Well, I think probably the number one thing for us is surrounding ourselves with the right people. And you know, we do have an amazing group of brokers that work with us that actually help us to go out and sell as well, which I think is a pretty unique thing, because a lot of broker owners don't sell. But why that's so powerful for us is because it keeps our finger on the pulse of what's really happening out there. So we're not really preaching to the choir without really being in the choir, and I think that's huge.
Yes.
The second piece, and thanks to your help actually, is we're all, a lot of us in this industry are kind of control freaks, and we can do all of it ourselves. But when you get to a certain part of your business, you really need to reach out and find people that can do your job at least 80% of the type of service that you can give plus, so that you can kind of get rid of some of those things that aren't things that you necessarily need to do, things that aren't particularly your strength. Give it to somebody whose strength it is, so that they can run with it.
Love that.
So that helps us, and it's helped us to then be involved in our children's lives as well.
Yeah.
Because we only get this one chance.
Yes.
And so we don't want to miss it.
And Keoki, all of the agents come to you with all of the problems that agents see out in the industry and all of the questions, and you always seem to, you know, just have the best answer and such a mentor to people to feel confident. And a lot of your agents here are producing at a very high level. They've been very experienced for many, many years. But I see them all just coming to you to make sure that they have that guidance when it comes to the legalities and all the constant changes that happen in the real estate market. So share a little bit about that and where that success comes from you, for you.
Well, one of the coolest things about being a designated broker is that not only do you hear your problems that you have with clients, but you hear every agent's problem that they have with clients. So there's probably nothing I haven't heard at this point, or it's some iteration. And although that's not true, I get some new ones here and there. But it's cool that I get the opportunity to be a part of every transaction. So it gives me thousands of transactions instead of just hundreds to look through. And so I have a good base of of understanding, and I can build off that when helping.
And that's really great advice too. And Stephanie, I want to get back to you. Is so if you're listening right now this morning to Coffee with a Superstar, be out there and be an industry leader. Even if you don't have the volume right now, surround yourself with the best of the best, people that are producing at a high level, because they're dealing with the most problems and challenges because they're doing the most business. Keoki just mentioned as a broker owner and really setting himself up as his role on the husband and wife team here with Real Living Northwest Real Estate, to be that go-to person. And so he's able to see everything. So you can too, by surrounding yourself around that. And then for those of you that are experts and you're doing great things, most of you probably already do this, and that's why you've reached a high level of success. But if you're not, and maybe do a little bit more, get out there and find out what other agents' problems and challenges are, because it really helps you to be prepared when those things come up for you personally. And Stephanie, you were going to say something as well?
Well, what I was going to say is another huge piece of it is getting involved in organizations within your industry. So, it's nice because Keoki and I really kind of split that up a little bit. He's like the chair of the disciplinary board with the MLS. He's a director. He's a expert witness, all of those things that are just so powerful that we can bring to our brokers and share with them the legalities. He tells us fascinating stories of how to keep us out of trouble, which is fantastic. And then I'm really involved with the Women's Council of Realtors, which, you're out there working with your peers, and they're not your competition, they're your peers. Yeah. And you learn so much from them, and there is such a power to have somebody within these organizations that we're all involved with on the other side of a transaction. And it's always kind of been one of those things where people say, oh, if you're so involved in these things, then you're probably really not doing a lot of real estate. Well, I can tell you that you're totally wrong. No, it's incredibly powerful.
Yeah, because you're out there networking, and I'm so glad that you brought that up, because I know that is a key success. Not just your success in the business and being able to build the office as well, but just feeling great about what you do, getting out and building these friendships through Women's Council of Realtors. And it does take time. I mean, all the hours that you've committed at the local network level, as well as working into the state level and still being involved in it, but it's so worth it. So get out there and join your organizations, through NAR, Seattle King County Realtors, and all of those things. So we've talked a little bit about problems and challenges, but not in detail. And I'd love to know, for over the last 12 months in 2018, what would you say was your biggest challenge or problem that you had to overcome, and how did you do that?
For me, I think what happened is our business has actually gone to a different level.
Yes, it has.
And so because of that, we almost had to regroup everything again and build our team up even more so as far as what everybody's role is. And that's it. It's an ever evolving process, right? Because our industry, we're thrown, so many things are thrown at us, so many tools and systems, and you do this with your 8-week burn. But getting processes in place is so incredibly huge, and not looking for the shiniest star. Yeah. Get a process and perfect it, and then move on to the next. Yeah. And it's easy to say, but it can be really challenging. So we just kind of had to jump on that bandwagon, and it's actually been fantastic. So
and what a great thing to be able to look back at your business and know that you have to redefine things. And the level of success is really picking one thing, working on it, moving to the next thing, mastering that, and then just really seeing all that you've been able to put together, because it's a constant work and change to continue to advance it to the next level. Love that. Keoki, how about for you?
Well, I think this market change has been interesting for me. In the spring of last year, it still felt hot and things were still happening, and then there was just a slowdown, and so there was a lot of panic from people. I remember getting calls from agents, is the sky falling, is the market done? And it's still a challenge, because I think what's happened is, if you look at the statistics, the market kept going up through the spring, and about June it slowed. and you can, if you go to like anywhere that keeps statistics, you'll see a little bump. And so what we don't know still is our current spring gonna pick right back up and go fast again, or is our current spring going to
continue adjusting?
Yeah, maybe we're at the new norm. Because listen, today's market is by any stretch of the imagination called a hot market.
Yeah.
Even though inventories have almost doubled, but it just feels like it's maybe something different because it's not as crazy. I mean, it was an inferno before, and now it's just hot. And so just trying to dance that dance with sellers who are like hearing stories of craziness and people just handing them money, and maybe that doesn't happen anymore. To buyers who are scared to get back in, and now they could actually maybe make an offer and sleep on it, and and so it's just interesting. It's kind of a fun time because everybody wants to know the answer and nobody knows it. Anyone who says they know the answer is
But isn't it funny, in not just our industry, but in every industry out there, you have the ups and downs markets, and you'll have the majority of people that no matter what market that we're in, they'll look at it as a problem or a challenge, because the market we just came out of, that craziness, that was a problem and a challenge for a lot of agents, a hard thing to deal with. Whereas you would think now that it's slowed down a little bit, that would be an opportunity to see the positive side. We've got back into a more normal market. Obviously, it's still a seller's market. We're not in a buyer's market based on the amount of months that are on inventory. The question that people are focusing on, just as you mentioned, Keoki, is what does this mean coming forward? And so I would encourage, if you're listening today, those of you that have been through the financial meltdown, which all of us here this morning have, I think we've all learned how to really benefit from that market. And not to say that I would ever wish for a bad market, but I do know guaranteed at some point in time a bad market is going to happen. That's always what happens. But I'd rephrase that and not look at it as a bad market, but instead a challenging market to most. But for those that embrace it, it's a huge opportunity market, because you're at a lower percentage of what the majority of the industry is able to, the lack of being able to adapt to that. So, I don't know where the market's going to go. You guys know more than I do, but I really don't worry about it. If we're going to have a crash sometime in the future, whether it's near the end of the market, I'm excited to embrace that and embrace it differently than I did last time, knowing exactly that there's always a turnaround from it, and to really embrace it as an opportunity to, I'll be happy to have coffee with a superstar when we're hit that next crash. At some point in time it's going to happen, but because that's really where it's time to pull together and really be able to benefit from some of that.
Yeah. No, and that is, we all got to experience that one really fun market together. But I think once you go through something like that as well, you're just like, wow. You can conquer. We saw a funky market. Yeah. So, and that's what's so exciting about our industry, really, is because it is always changing. And we became experts at bank owns and short sales, and now here we are, multiple offers, and just being able to massage a contract in a particular market is extremely huge.
When we started doing we just met and we started doing our personal growth vision board workshops, and that time really was, it's going to kind of brings me tears a little bit just thinking about it, because that time is where all of my personal growth started, and that's where I really made an intentional decision that, I'm going to figure things out. And, those of you that have not read my book, if you want a complimentary copy, please reach out to me. It's based on my personal and professional core practices. But I share a story of that aha moment sitting in my office late at night and just making an intentional decision that I'm going to find out what can I gain from this. And just having those thought processes and engaging in meeting, likeness women, like you and I are, and building friendships. It was just an amazing time. So much was grown out of that I would have never been the person I am today if not for that market. So to me, it was a blessing. So marketing tips. I know anybody that's listening right now live wants to know what is the best of the best doing to do more business. So what would be your favorite marketing tip to share with our listeners this morning?
My favorite marketing is really events. Mm-hmm. I really like having events, and then you can invite people to come to the event and spend more time with them. And of course, we do all the other stuff. We do the passive marketing, we do the mailers, we do the videos. But when you get one-on-one time with people, that's when it's probably the most special. And because we're not out there to just have a whole bunch of numbers and sell as many houses as we can. I mean, sure, that's nice, but there is a power of working with people that you have a bond with, a relationship with, and it just makes it such a more pleasurable experience because you know that you can trust that person. And that's really huge when this is the largest financial piece, expenditure that they're going to have when in their process of this journey. So
exactly. And I like how you mentioned events because I believe in value education, a little bit of fun to rotate through those things because we need to provide things of value. This show is value. We need to provide some education, which is educational, and you just need to get out there and have fun with your people, your clients, and your business partners. So I love how you mentioned events because that brings in the funness of it. Yeah. Keoki, what about you?
Well, it's interesting. You both touched on the two most important things, I think, which is relationships is number one, and then bringing value is number two. And so if you're trying to create marketing that does an email create a relationship? Probably not. It could give value. Do postcards create a relationship? Probably not. It could give value. There is one thing that you can create a relationship unilaterally, and it's video. And it's interesting to me because but it has to be the right video. So hey, I'm Keoki and I'm an awesome real estate agent and I've got a BMW and does that create, and I work at the best company, and that could create a relationship. They're getting to know you maybe, but there's no value. So to me, the number one thing is video with teaching. And so my best video that got me the most, that I know brings me in money is it's called 5 Things to Do Before You Sell Your Home. And it literally starts with me saying, you must do these 5 things before you sell your home. So it sort of sucks you in. And then they learn 5 tips to staging or to preparing. And at the end of it, they feel like I've taught them something. I may have never met this person in my life, but they feel like they know me. And if they've seen 10 of my videos about preparing for selling a house, who do you think they're going to call if they don't have a relationship already with an agent? They have a relationship with me now.
Yes.
And we have, right after that video came out, we had quite a few people call us, and past clients were like, oh my gosh, we were thinking about it, and that just kind of got us juiced up to get going on it. And it is powerful. It's very powerful.
Well, Keoki's been a huge inspiration, and part of the reason that we're here today with Coffee with a Superstar is, Keoki talks a lot about video and education within the office. I brought him in for my Power Hour Lunch and Learn, and one key thing, there's so many things that I learned, but really addressing the challenge that people have, what's the problem and challenge that they have, and then giving them the answer to that. But it doesn't need to be some formal. I mean, we've got Victoria here on the other side just so the camera kind of doesn't move too much and she can time us. And so Victoria, thank you for being here. She's always on the other side of the camera.
And 5 years with her today. That's
5
really
years today.
Happy
Congratulations. And happy President's Day, everyone, too. I should have said that and forgot it. Our office is actually working anyways for my team because of all the snow, and everybody loves their job so much that we just came in today. But
my staff doesn't love their jobs.
Yeah, there's no one here at Keoki and stuff. They especially came into the office for. But so you've been such an inspiration for me, putting myself out there on video, and it doesn't have to be some extraordinary green screen special. I mean, this is just, there's no editing, we're live, and just go out there. You've got yourself, and especially for real estate agents, because you're more on that personal level with clients. You're out there looking at homes with them. Get your phone and get BombBomb and do something and put your personality out there to be able to connect, right?
That's it. Absolutely.
Having content out in the world that's unedited and just out there is better than
Yes.
waiting till you can afford to hire somebody to do
And
something
don't you
fancy.
think nowadays it might even be better?
It's more
than
real.
the edited one in some fashion. I mean, it depends on your audience. If you're trying to put a video up on your website that's going to be sitting there, it needs to be a professional video. But if you're just doing some casual stuff and having conversations with people you're working with, and you want to draw people in and invite them into your community, you know, I think it's not having something that is all professional might even have a better, you know, a better connection.
Yes,
Yeah.
I agree.
So for any agent that's listening right now today, and they're asking themselves, oh, I mean, this sounds really great. You guys are so successful. You're doing so many things, and you can tell you love what you do, and some great marketing tips. Thank you so much for that. But if there was just one advice that you would give to me as an agent listening today, I just really want to get to that next level in my business, and I'm just not sure how to do it. What steps should I take? They could do one thing, the first thing that they need to do.
Well, and if you're newer, I guess the biggest thing is getting involved in your community, or getting involved in some social groups that show your passion. Because once you're in a group like that, people see that you're involved and they can trust you, and they get to see the real you and how you're getting involved in your community. And I think that's a really strong piece. For example, I'm in Rotary, in the North Shore Rotary, and it's really powerful. We don't talk about our business, but you can tell who you can trust by who's reliable. Right?
Yes.
And I don't know, that's just kind of a really big piece.
See, so she does a lot of business. She's owner with her husband of this amazing company. She gives back to her community. She's part of organizations within real estate, and she's raised two amazing daughters, which only one of them is an early teen right now, the oldest. So I just had to give you a shout out.
Well, thank you.
Keoki here too.
I'm just eye candy.
Yeah, that's right.
So get involved in the community, and you know how great is a real estate agent, and you guys actually were an inspiration for this for me. I'm doing things a little bit differently because I'm in mortgage, and you know, but I really am a believer, which you guys know because I talk about it all the time, and have gone through my coaching program. It's getting connected B2B, business to business. Yes, consumers you're going to connect with. That's ultimately who we're going to close a deal with. But even as a real estate agent, I believe the most powerful relationship for you is your partners, your B2B partnerships. And Keoki and Stephanie do this sitting on the red couch when they do their virtual meetings with all of their agents. And I get to do Mortgage Minutes, so I'm part of it each week. But and they've interviewed some business professionals and showcased their business. So Stephanie says, get involved with your community. Get involved with your community and take it up a different level. How can you showcase the community business owner's business? That's what Coffee with a Superstar is about. How can I showcase people that are doing amazing things right now in our real estate market to inspire you? Because obviously that's a benefit to me being in the mortgage industry. You see how all of this comes together and helps all of us. So get out to your local businesses, build things around, showcase them, however you want to do that. Facebook Live is a really great platform. So, and get involved with your community, like Stephanie was saying that way as well. Keoki, how about for you? First thing to do right now, if somebody is just like, they're really inspired and motivated by our conversation today, and they want to know what to do to take the next level with their business.
Well, what if I just support by giving a crazy example? Because we happen to have, because over my years, I might have had different tips, like you're just getting the business you need to make. But we had the awesome experience of having a gal move to our office who was a successful 50-plus year.
She's going to be Coffee with a Superstar. What month is Leslie? Oh, Victoria's saying we have 5 minutes. Anyways, go ahead.
Anyway, she came to Seattle as a brand new agent, having been successful. And I remember thinking, this is going to be fascinating, because here's someone who we know can be an agent, a successful agent. She knows how to be successful, but can you just start new in a whole new place? And then really you're going to have to, like, if I had to start over, I couldn't do the things I'm doing here there. Because I don't know anybody, you know, and so she showed me what it takes. It is so simple. She literally is the most networked, connected person.
Shout out to Leslie
you have ever met. Yeah, she went from being
McFadden.
Leslie McFadden went from being a highly successful agent in another brokerage in the middle of the country, where she had to sell 50 transactions to make a living almost, you know, because it's the price point so low. She moved out here, and we were just in Huntington Beach, California, and she won a national award for her production.
She's been with you guys now,
just about 2 years.
Yeah. Yep.
So how mind-blowing is that? And how she did it, I swear to you, I see her on Facebook meeting with business owners, going to chamber meetings, giving presentations. She is just so connected to the people in the community, and so and she went from zero to success. So if you're ever going to look for a formula, there it is. That like I cannot say anything that's better than that.
I know, because you're always looking for the magic pill.
The magic pill.
And the magic pill gets crazy in our business because there's so many tools and systems, and it's just constant, and it gets so overwhelming, and there's so many different backgrounds of people coming into this business. People that have tech, people that have nursing or teaching, and really out of all those people, it's always the ones that build the relationships and not build the systems behind the scene. And so if you need a magic pill, that is the magic pill.
Ask yourself, whenever you're about to do something that you think is going to help you make money, ask yourself if it builds a relationship in some way. If the answer is no, but it might meet some other things, well then, you know, you can still do that, but you better get to the thing that builds a relationship, because that's
that piece in there.
That's it. It's a relationship game.
And it's more fun that way. It doesn't seem like you're in a sales job, because you're really not. You're in an education job. You're teaching people about this really spectacular process, and it shouldn't be stressful. I mean, sure, there's going to be little hiccups possibly along the way, but honestly, if you're working with somebody that you have a relationship with, it just makes everything so much more smooth.
And then some of your closest friends come out of the relationships that you've built, because you're really going to that next level. So I love that, and I love you guys so much, and I want to appreciate you for say thank you for allowing me to be a part of this amazing company and part of your tribe here at Real Living Northwest. Realtors, and a shout out, because I'm sure your agents will be chiming in and listening, if not after that we talk. So hello to all my Real Living tribe, and I just appreciate everything that you do, and the level of reputation that you've built within the industry is just really nice to see, and you guys are so deserving of it.
Thank you so much, and thank you for this opportunity.
And thank you for all of you listening today live, and for those of you that might chime in later, and just really appreciate you being here. Again, every Monday, myself and my lovely assistant Victoria, which some of you probably know, are just traveling to different real estate offices to meet with the best of the best for a coffee with a superstar. So I hope to see you next Monday. I would say on my radio show, same time, same place, but it's not the same place, but same time. All right, I appreciate all of you. Make it an amazing and inspiring day, and happy President's Day.
Thank you.
Bye.